Been talking all week about it. This is the week today's the day that I just submitted the proposal for the KW Commercial Division proposal for me to expand my business. So my name is Gus. I am the KW director here, KW Commercial Director here in our market center in Central Florida, and I've been wanting to really focus on putting together like the partnership portion of my business on how I'm going to further develop my commercial business, how I'm going to expand it, right? So I have activity, I'm doing commercial business now, but I want to expand it. I want to build a team, all that good stuff. And part of my strategy is to, obviously create, some strategic partnerships. My first strategic partnership is with my market center, because right now I'm kind of like, working independently of the markets. I mean, I'm working under the market center, but not really in a partnership capacity. I'm just kind of doing business under the brokerage. So I'm leveling that up to essentially work to try to get our market center to be more of a partner with me as I further expand my business, and I am looking to really expand on part of the strategy I'm working on is to really have referral business with the residential agents in our market center. So I put together basically a proposal for the market center, specifically to identify just some key elements that I think that the would be valuable to the market center, as well as what I would be able to get in return. So there, obviously, in a partnership, there is a give and take. So, I'm not sure how to share this information, because I know that this is not necessarily something that might translate directly with other businesses, because you may have a business selling widgets and you don't necessarily have a broker that you have to work with, but you still have other partners, other strategic partners that you can work with to create a business, to negotiate terms on how you can make a relationship work. And part of that might be you might provide some support for that business, or something of that nature. Maybe it's working with an affiliate, right, where they are willing to sell some of your widgets and you're willing to give them a deal, or maybe give them a percentage of whatever they sell, or a service, or something of that nature. So that's kind of similar. That would be the thing that I think would be kind of like similar in this case. So in this case, I'm working with my broker to identify just some terms that I think would be beneficial both to the market center as well as to me. Obviously, this is the first round. They may come back and ask for some changes, or ask me to do this in exchange of that, or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, the goal here is to really leverage the relationship that I already have with my broker, and try to see if we can kind of create a harmonious scenario where I can help to develop the commercial division, which is going to benefit the market center, and and by doing so, I also get an opportunity to expand my business. Now, in the commercial, let me just say this: in our realm, right? There could be people who join the market center as commercial agents who are not necessarily part of my team, and that's fine. And then there are other folks that may want to join the market center and be a part of my team. So what I'm suggesting is hey, I will help develop the market center commercial division, whether or not they're on my team or not, right? So that's part of what I'm bringing to the table, and I'll bring a lot of resources as it relates to that, right? That process. And then in that, I might be able to also select some people that might have an interest in joining a team that might be able to join my team. Ultimately, these are all agents that would be under the brokerage, and it still benefits the brokerage. So it's still a win-win situation regardless. So, that is essentially what I've just sent over to my broker, or our team leader effectively, and a copy to the ownership of the brokerage, to kind of see if this is something that might make some sense. So I think that I kind of I'm leaning heavy on what I'm bringing to the table. I think all of those things are things that are going to ultimately benefit me at the end of the day anyways. So I don't mind doing some of those things. I think sort of long vision, long-term goals, I think they will end up being a net positive over time. And it's just a question of me putting in the work over time to be able to achieve those goals. So it's really going to set the bar a little high, which is fine for me, because I think that by striving to have that expectation fulfilled, then I will ultimately do better in the long run. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I've identified how how my role would fit in this partnership, how other agents would fit in the partnership as it relates to how this all plays out, and then in addition to that, I also kind of put together kind of like sort of the commercial division, mission, vision, values, beliefs, priorities. I put that in as well so that they can kind of see that I have a bigger vision to this partnership than just building my personal business, but also in building a really fundamental division, building a division that has really strong fundamentals. That's really what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm talking faster than I'm thinking. So I want to make sure I'm being clear about that. So I'm hoping that that's going to really get them razzed about working in partnership with me. They already have a history. We already have a history of working together, so they know how I operate in general. So I'm hoping that they'll see that and they'll be like, oh wow, okay, this is going to be a great situation. Let's go ahead and move forward and make some things happen. Which I'm hoping that's the case. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I'll keep you guys updated. So the other thing that I included in there, because I really want them to see that I'm really I'm committed to this, is this kind of works for me with regard to building deeper relationships with the residential agents in the office, is creating. I created a workshop schedule for once a month workshop that I'm going to be teaching to residential agents about sort of the risks, the challenges that come with working in the commercial realm as compared to working in the residential realm. In residential, there's not a lot of risks are mitigated because there's a lot of requirements, disclosures that are in place for anyone buying a residential property, where those things are not necessarily there on the commercial side. Now, most of the time, sellers are going to disclose and all that good stuff, but it's a how would you say that? It is a buyer beware market, right? Where the buyer is really, it's up to the buyer to do their own due diligence to ensure that they're buying the thing that makes the most sense, right? There's no disclosure requirements per se as it relates to commercial real estate. But that's just one part of it. But generally speaking, there are a lot of challenges that come with commercial real estate, and that a lot of residential agents are just not aware of because they're not used to those risks and challenges in the residential side, because those risks and challenges are mitigated through disclosures and rules and stuff like that you're not allowed to do as it relates to residential. So I want to make sure that they're aware of that so that they can decide for themselves whether they want to pursue going after a commercial project or if they want to kind of do their own thing or refer it out, right? And that's really what I put together. So the class includes quite a number of things. I mean, it talks about just the commercial transactions in general, what due diligence means, just legal considerations, negotiating transactions, how we work with valuations and stuff like that, and how that's different from how all of those things are different from residential, just so there's clarity there. So that's what I've basically submitted today. I just want to share that with you guys because I know that part of this, the whole purpose of this video series is really just to kind of document what I'm doing, and I'm super stoked about that. I did sit in to a virtual commercial workshop, which was super helpful. And one of the things that I kind of got from that was to find ways to qualify potential sellers, buyers, tenants, whatever the case may be. And I kind of thought to myself, we could probably automate that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this week to put together some videos that I'm going to be adding to the website and a form or possibly multiple forms, which I don't know if I'll have time to do that this week, but within the next 2 weeks for sure, some forms that people can just fill out to kind of help them understand what elements are going to be important for them to have before they go through the process of purchasing real estate, specifically commercial real estate, selling real estate, leasing a space, leasing out a space, whatever the case. So I think those forms would be super helpful for people who are not very, very familiar with commercial, or maybe they've only done one transaction before, and that was a long time ago. So just so they have an idea of like what that process looks like and what's going to ultimately make sense for them. So I think I'm going to add that to my website, and I think that might be helpful. I think it'll also be helpful to add a layer of that for residential agents that are wanting to refer business, so they can refer that business to say, hey, go to this website, and this is what the next step you need to do, and then those clients will be able to sort of self-identify their ability to kind of go and take the next steps. Because one thing that I am running into is I'm getting referral business, but some of the referral business they're just not qualified. They don't have the means or the capability, or their timing is not right based on what they got going on in their business or whatever the case. So getting some clarity on that would be super helpful for me, but I think it'll also be helpful for the client so that they can see for themselves, oh, these are the things that need to happen. And if I can figure out a way to kind of like, they submit their form, and then I can provide a response to them saying, hey, you're almost there. These are the items that are needed for us to take the next steps, so that they know for themselves, oh, okay, I know I need to get these things before I can, move forward on a lease or a purchase or whatever. It gives them some information as well. So I think that'll have a ton of value. So I'll have to experiment with that, but that is one thing that I'm going to be adding to my website so that people can help self-identify. I want to try to automate as much of that as possible. So again, that's leveraging technology to do some of the work that I would otherwise have to do either over the phone or in email or something like that. So if I can automate some of that, I think that leverage is going to be super helpful. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. And if you guys have any questions about that, please make sure you comment below. Please please subscribe. That all helps with the algorithm. Hit that bell if you want to know know about the next video that's coming out. If you have any comments about what I'm saying, whether you agree or disagree or just have a different perspective, I'd love to hear them. Also, if there's anything that you guys specifically want to hear about as it relates to building a business, even though I'm talking about commercial business because that's my business, I'm happy to just kind of discuss any topics about expanding or just generally expanding your business. Again, I'm not claiming to be some guru or anything, but if I have something to add to it, if I have a thought about it, I'm happy to include that as part of this video series. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you like what you're seeing and you share it with someone who you think would benefit from it, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.